to my presentation. This is Muhammad Yasin Arafat. Today I am going to speak about globalization. What is globalization? Globalization is a process of interaction and integration among the people, companies and government of different nations, a process driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. This purpose has effects on the environment, on culture, on political system, on economic development and prosperity, and on human physical well-being in society around the world. Let's have a look on overview. For thousands of years, people and later corporations have been buying from the selling to each other in lands and at great distance, such as through the Farm Silk Road across Central Asia that connected China and Europe during the Middle Age. Likewise, for centuries, people and corporations have invested the enterprise in other countries. In fact, many of the features of the current wave of globalization are similar to those prevailing before the outbreak and the First World War in 1914. Globalization is not new. Let's talk about drivers of globalization. The current wave of globalization has been driven by policies and have opened economic domestically and internationally. In the years since the Second World War, especially during the first 2 decades, many government organizations have adopted free market economic system, vastly increasing their own productive potential, creating new opportunities for international trade. Technology has been the other principal driven of globalization. Advance of information technology in particular have dramatically transformed economic life. Information technology have given all sorts of individual economic actors consumer globalization and with IT. Improvements in the early 1990s in computer hardware, software and telecommunications greatly increased people's ability to access information and economic potential, while this advance in interaction-based tools over the first 5-10 years, such as social networking, website, Twitter and Web 2 application are changing the way people use sharing information for potential political and commercial. Benefits of globalization. Globalization is deeply controversial. However, proponents of the globalization argue that it allows poor countries and their citizens to develop economically and raise their standard of the living, while opponents of globalization claim that the creation of an unfettered international free market and benefited multinational corporations in the Western world at the expense of the local enterprise, local culture and common people. Resistance of the globalization has therefore taken shape both and popular at the governmental level, as government try to manage the flow of capital, labor, goods and ideas that constitute and the current wave of globalization. To find the right balance between benefit and cost associated with globalization, citizens all nations need to understand how globalization works and policy choices facing them and their societies. Resistance of globalization has therefore taken shape both and popular and the government level, as people of the government try to manage the flow of capital, labor, goods, ideas and constituted the current wave of globalization. To find out the right balance between benefits costs associated with globalization, citizens of all nations need to understand how globalization works and the policy choices facing them and their associates. Finally, I would like to say that globalization tries to provide the accurate analysis of the issue, the controversies regarding the globalization without slogan ideological biases generally found in discussion of the topic.